There are no more poetic words or ways to say that Palestinians deserve life, that they deserve freedom, that they deserve liberation. We have run out of poetic ways to convince people that the Palestinian people deserve to live. So I'm not here to appeal to the morality, to appeal to the depraved consciousness of a nation that wreaks havoc, of a nation that spills blood, of a nation that is invested in violence in every corner of the world. It would be naive of me, it would be naive of you to be guided by the morality, by the consciousness of a nation that not only committed a genocide against its indigenous people that continue and still exist and resist today, but also a nation that enslaved black and brown people for centuries. Of a nation that bombed Yemeni children in school buses, of a nation that is invested in genocide, invested in death, invested in destruction. So do not let the United States of America, do not let their foreign policy dictate your morality, dictate your actions, because so long as there been a revolution on the opposing side of humanity, of justice, the United States imperial power exists. You are not saving the Palestinian people, because the Palestinian people will be saved by the people on the land that are resisting. But you must hold yourself accountable, because it is your tax dollars that are paying for those bombs. It is your tax dollars that are paying for every bullet. It is your tax dollar that is invested in this genocide, so you cannot separate yourself, you cannot distance yourself. This is a genocide that's being funded by your hard-earned money, and if you don't care, then you are nothing better than everyone else who is standing with the Zionists right now. Apathy is just as violent. Apathy is just as violent when you are scrolling on your Instagram, watching Palestinian families be burned to their death, when you are watching these children suffer alone without their families, when you are watching Palestinian men be stripped naked and killed, and you go about your day as though you have seen nothing. What does that mean? It is an indictment of our humanity. It is an indictment of our faith. It is an indictment of who we are as people. Being pro-Palestinian is not a stance that you get to verbalize and sleep and rest and live your life as normal. It is a commitment to be in solidarity, to be in struggle, to not put yourself first, to put your interests to the side for what's in your life. We have seen more death in the last 80 days than we are going to see in our lifetimes. Does that not move us? If that does not move us, what will? Will another charred Palestinian baby move us? Will another Palestinian mother crying over 8 or 9 of her children move us? Will another scene of a mass burial on concrete in the middle of the street move us? What more do the Palestinian people need to show us? What more do they need to document for us to move? It is not enough to post on social media, though that is extremely important. It is not enough. We are all in different echo chambers. It is not enough. We must do more. We must give more, because it is our money that is funding this. This violence is being done in our names, and every single time we bite our tongue, every single time we choose silence, we are supposed to be witnessing charred, mutilated children. We are not supposed to be witnessing people's bones. And more than that, they should never have to endure this violence, but they do because we pay for it, because we are so caught up in our lives that we think we can separate ourselves from this violence. But we cannot. We must not. You are the Zionist entity's biggest nightmare because everyone here from all walks of life, in the belly of the beast, in the place where the genocide is being funded, and the place where the consent for this genocide is being manufactured. You are resisting. You are showing up. And you are telling these politicians, you are telling the United States government and the Zionist entity that you will not be bought. So today you came. So let this not be the extent to which you show up. You have to honor what you've witnessed, because you cannot pretend as though you have not seen the images you have seen. You cannot pretend. What you have seen will testify against you. What you have seen must radicalize you, must push you into action. Feeling bad is not enough. Sympathy is not going to cut it. We must escalate. I know so many of you have seen Martez's story. He is asking of you to escalate. But we have to continue to convince people that Palestinian people deserve life. We have to convince people that if it's raining a little, you still need to show up. So next time, bring 10 of your friends. Next time you're in a classroom, organize that classroom. Next time you're in an institution, pass BDS. Next time you're in a workplace, make sure you get unionized and pass BDS. Do not let them buy your silence. Do not stand in the wrong side of history. The Palestinian people, just like you, deserve life. And I want you, when you see your mom, to think of the Palestinian mother. When you see your dad, to think of the Palestinian father. When you see your brother, to think of the Palestinian young man. When you see your sister, to think of the Palestinian young woman. When you see your cousin, to think of the Palestinian cousin. When you see your children, to think of Palestinian children. I want you to be reminded, when you see these trees, to think of olive trees. When you go to a hospital, to think of a Shifa hospital. I want you, when you see journalists, to see Martez and Bisan and every journalist sacrificing their sanity and their life to show you. I want you to think of them every single time. I want you to understand that you are complicit, but that you have power. That you have power, and they are trying to convince you that you do not. They are banking on you to be in defeat, to be in despair, because that is the easiest way to manipulate you, to put you on a circle of wondering what can you do, but you can. And this is step one.
Remember that a ceasefire is not enough. We never, from the beginning,